Hello and welcome to the Pumpkin Copter cast. I am joined once again by Big Al Dente of Nobi Noodle and Otakyo,
Oh, ham and eggs and buttered toast.
and my good friend Ben the Destroyer. That's his name now whenever he's on this show. If we had a wiki, it would be on that.
I live to destroy and scar people with psychological damage in any way I can find it.
Sounds like the internet.
Yep.
Internet as a whole. Does that mean Ben the Destroyer is in fact the internet?
It's like the physical personification, like the Hulk.
Oh my.
So anyway, E3 happened, and lots of things happened, and I have to wait for most of the things that were announced to come out, and it hurts. So
Yeah.
yeah,
The process begins again. The 7 stages, as it were.
Yep. 7 stages of waiting a whole year. Absolute hell.
Depends on
So-
what you're waiting for, I suppose. But yeah, I digress.
Yeah.
Let's get into this.
So yeah, Ben, why don't you start things off?
Okay. I'm going to go for a bit of a swerve here compared to what we normally focus on, which is Nintendo stuff, and look at what was surprisingly the biggest focus of E3. That would be Microsoft's conference. I know a lot of the stuff they announced is third party and also coming out in 2019, but you could tell there was a concerted effort to strengthen their internal games production team, which they really needed. If you haven't been following along, they planned on buying and incorporating a bunch of independent studios into their group. There was Undead Labs, the guys who worked on the recent State of Decay 2. We have Compulsion, the team that's working on We Happy Few. Playground Games, the team that makes the Forza Horizon titles. And incidentally, I played Forza Horizon 3. Absolutely fantastic. Definitely recommend that. And we have the last one, which is Ninja Theory. And I'm jumping ahead here, but I'm aware of what Ninja Theory's done in the past, and I don't regret endorsing it. I think they'll make a great addition to the team.
Yeah, Senua's Sacrifice was fucking rad, dude. I'm gonna have to fight you there, though. The focus of E3, like, yeah, Xbox did great. Microsoft, what they're doing right now is great. They're finally turning things around. They're finally looking like, a more formidable opponent in that they're AAA developer ring. But I think the focus of E3 2018 was not strictly on one platform, but a multi-platform game, and that game goes by the name of Kingdom Hearts 3.
Oh yeah,
You couldn't shake that game. It was everywhere, and by all accounts, that's fine because we haven't heard anything about that damn game in years. And it came back, and it dominated. It's like, hey, Xbox press conference, Kingdom Hearts. Sony, Kingdom Hearts. Square Enix, Kingdom Hearts. And I'm like, oh my god, I'm actually kind of getting sick of this.
Yeah.
Square Enix even is just like, hey, stay tuned for a surprise. Remake, Resident Evil remake. Oh, it's just Kingdom Hearts again. So
Yeah.
it's making itself known. It's I kind of wish it was a little less dominant. Like it almost deflated my hype a little bit.
Yeah.
It's like, you guys can calm down now. I get it. It's happening. I am so very happy for you.
Yeah.
I want to give you a big hug, Tetsuya Nomura. Congrats. Here's me clapping. One hand is holding a microphone, so I can't really. But here it comes. All right,
Yeah.
just chill. Shh. There are other people who want to play.
Right.
It's okay.
and
And it's also important to keep our expectations firmly in check because I've seen time and again how waiting over a decade for something, with very few exceptions, can lead to people's hopes getting crushed.
Oh,
if not outright decimated.
I don't think that's the case here, to be honest, because time and again, ever since E3, I mean, it wasn't that long ago, but logging on to social media, the platforms of my choice, Kingdom Hearts dominates social media right now. Like everybody is waiting, and from what we've seen, it's definitely going to deliver. It's just I think they're pouring I think it's just because they've been backed up for so years. They got to let it out. You know what I'm saying? It's
Yeah.
they're like, we're finally ready to show you things. Here it comes, and they just can't stop.
Yeah.
So I mean, I'm saying from a personal standpoint, I was getting kind of sick of seeing Kingdom Hearts at that point. I'm like, all right, I get it, it's coming, sweet. Maybe tone it back a bit, but everyone else, like, I think I'm a minority here, but everybody else is ready for this game. Waiting too long for it really just kind of deflated my hype a bit. I'm like, I don't even have a system to play it on. Put it on Switch. That'd be great. Thanks.
Oh,
But
geez, Kingdom Hearts on Switch.
Yeah,
Like-
that's not going to happen unless they find a way to put all the series onto that device.
Hey,
And
never say
also-
never. Never say never. You never know.
True.
Kingdom Hearts 1 and 2 aren't the most technological games on the planet. That it's not Crisis 3 they're trying to run here. It's Kingdom Hearts. So you never know.
If they can
might get
put
surprised.
Doom on the Switch, then
Yeah,
I think
they
the
can put
possibility is there.
Wolfenstein and Doom,
Yeah.
exactly. And what are they? They're putting in the new Elder Scrolls on there. So
Yeah,
they
that's
can
the stuff.
put a 15-year-old port on the Switch.
yeah.
Hey, you never know. Keep your fingers
Yeah.
crossed, hopefuls. Here we go.
Yeah. And failing that, we've got the final remix edition of The World Ends With You to fall back on.
Oh, it's too early for this. I'm not used to being hyped so early. I cannot wait. I was kind of disappointed I have to wait until fall, but I'm like, that's my birthday. Oh boy, what a gift.
Yay!
Hooray.
And it's also on the Switch.
Yes. Oh, I'm so ready. I will not play it on an iPad. You can't pay me to play that thing on an iPad. Screw you. Switch is great. Here we go.
You're not my boss, Dad.
You can't tell me what to do. I'm gonna play Fallout Shelter on my phone, and you're gonna like it. I'm digressing. We're on Xbox right now. Let's see. Big ones: Cuphead, Cupsona, Chalice Lady. Here she comes. Getting really freaked out. I don't like what I'm seeing anymore.
In that very brief trailer, when they showed just a bit of her animations, they seem to show that Miss Chalice has a double jump, and considering that everything in Cuphead's about extreme surgical precision, one can only imagine how that's going to factor into a boss fight.
And
Yeah.
Mugman's just kind of there.
Yeah.
He does his best.
Yeah.
You can forgive that. The whole thing is a hand on production to the point where some of the glitches, most of them are like half a gig at most in size. That one was over 2 gigabytes. But I'd say it's worth it just because I actually beat that thing 200% with all the achievements. I don't make that kind of commitment unless a game is really that good, and it is that freaking good. If you haven't played it, you might as well steal DLC.
I have never played it. I don't own an Xbox, but it is very normal of love that was time and effort in the game. And when they went up to the Game Awards and they got all those trophies and those accolades, like those were very well deserved. And kudos to Studio MDSR or whatever it's called. Like those guys, masters of their craft. And honestly, some people I was doing, some of the guests on my podcast were just like, I don't know, Cuphead was kind of like a one and done thing. I'm like, you guys high? Like Cuphead, like that is a story right there. That is an underdog story, and they're not going to let it die. Microsoft, as you said, Ben the Destroyer, Microsoft is all about strengthening their brand this year, and I'd be damned if they didn't invite that studio to do more. So I'm looking forward to what they've got in the years to come.
Yeah.
And then this is a good start. Like, yes, Chalice freaks me out. Yes, I don't like the Cupsona. I'm very, very scared of that tag on social media. But just looking at that gameplay trailer, I'm like, it's more of the same, and that's what people want.
Yeah, say what you will about the fan art. I can tell you firsthand, the bosses are going to be a lot scarier. I know at least 5 people in my Dark Souls branded Facebook group who have gone on record saying that is the hardest game they've ever played. And that's just the base game. Not going for S ranks, not going in on expert mode. just experiencing it on regular.
Okay, so you were talking scary as in gameplay. I'm like, dude, what? I want to cuddle like half those bosses. What's the matter with you? They're not scary. They're adorable.
Yeah, sure. They look adorable, but have you actually gone back and watched some of those old cartoons that they were based on? That got really effing dark.
It did.
Well, I mean, yeah. There's no denying that. But like, you just some of those bosses, like the Candy Princess or the Dragon, just want to pinch some cheeks, just give them a big hug. They try so hard. They're gonna die anyway, but they try.
Yeah. Have you heard the actual underground story behind how MDHR made Cuphead?
Wasn't it on one of those Did You Know Gaming videos? I'm sure I could catch up with that. You can't sit here and say, there's no information on the studio. Like I said, that is a true underdog story, and it's got to be out there somewhere. Like, there's no way. So if you're curious, you want to know what the studio's all about, please go educate yourself. Throw them your money.
Yeah.
Like, I'm very tempted to throw them my money. I don't even have an Xbox, but that's how good of a job they did.
I'm pretty
It's
sure
also on
Cuphead's
PC.
on Steam.
Is
there's
it?
a PC version.
I have a Mac, so
Oh, man. Well,
I guess I could go look into that.
yeah, or at the very least, at some point, we got to have like a personal meetup, and I can show you guys personally.
Yeah, there we go.
Yeah.
Oh wait. Sorry, I looked at my notes very quickly. Speaking of dying, I don't know if you guys like the Tales of series, but oh man, Tales of Vesperia.
Yeah.
It's happening, and I'm like, oh no, it's only on Xbox. And they're like, no, buddy, we got you. Have a Switch version. I'm like,
Yeah.
for me? Oh, you shouldn't have.
In case any of you don't know what he's talking about, it's an older installment of Namco's series of Tales JRPGs, and it's getting a definitive edition port to current gen hardware.
Yeah, we didn't get like the better version out here in the States. Japan got a version for the PlayStation which had extra DLC and characters and a bunch of bug fixes and stuff. And I'm like, hey, what? Don't do that. And when I found out that they were not bringing it over here, I just kind of stopped playing it because I was like, what's the point? If I'm not going to get the better version, what the heck? And what was it? 10, 12, 15 years later? It's about damn time. But it's okay. It's okay. It's been out of the limelight for so long, I kind of forgot that game was a thing. And I'm like, oh, I remember.
And the memories just come flooding back in all at once.
No, seriously, that's exactly what happened. Like, they played that theme song during the trailer, and I'm like, oh, crap, I still remember the words to this. What the hell? Everything came back in a rush. It's like that stupid Over the Hedge movie where someone opens a bag of Doritos and that squirrel just kind of goes into slow-mo.
Yeah.
Or like he drinks the soda or whatever. That's how it felt. I'm like, oh, shit.
Yeah.
But here's another curveball for you. How about that Shonen Jumps the Avengers?
You mean jumps?
Oh yeah.
Again, I think I'm in a minority when I say that looks absolutely stupid. I was laughing so hard when Luffy landed on the American flag. I'm like, please, Namco, stop. I'm going to die of laughter. I have to catch my breath. You got to slow down.
It's America.
Yeah, but that's the whole point. It's meant to be indulgent, over-the-top fan service in the best way possible. You can't blame it for that.
Well, it's not that I blame it. It's just it looks so dumb. And the fact that they referred to their state of what to do with these anime characters in the trailer, they're just like, there's what they say, there's nowhere else to go, and now they're invading our world. I'm like, thanks for admitting it.
They've got Luffy, they've got Goku, they've got Boruto's dad, they've got everyone.
And they've got, I can't remember that, William Dafoe.
Really?
Don't forget about William Dafoe.
What?
Mm-hmm.
Death Note, Ryuk and Light were sitting on top of the, one of the buildings at the end, and I was like, oh, hey, look, it's Spider-Man! So that was pretty good. I think Goku just kind of came out of nowhere and went Super Saiyan in front of Times Square, and I'm like, what? I want to see what happens next with that game, only because I want to laugh like that again. That was good.
Yeah.
And I said yesterday on a different podcast that Namco Bandai is making a couple other arena fighters right now. what with My Hero Academia, One's Justice and whatnot. I'm like, you guys are pushing this a little too hard, don't you think? You're gonna flood. There's already like enough great fighters coming out. This is gonna get lost in the ether. You guys gotta you gotta focus here. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Not to mention you're going to be competing with Blaze Blue Cross Tag Battle.
Can't escape from crossing fate.
Yeah.
Sasuke, is that you?
No, it's me, Naruto.
Oh, Boruto's dad.
I'm a dad now.
Yeah.
That's horrifying to think about.
Tangent, since we're talking about Naruto, but I can remember there was like a huge convention. I think it was out in Europe when the Naruto fans got to meet Naruto's voice from the English dub. I think it was like an older Irish woman who did the American voice, and you better believe the look on their face was sheer confusion, if not outright disbelief.
Oh no, I totally feel that. Like I went back and watched Dragon Ball Super recently at the behest of a friend, and I watched the sub, and I was like, why does Goku sound god awful? And it's some like 85-year-old woman in Japan doing Goku's voice, the same one who's been doing it for like since the beginning. And I'm like, are you what? No way. That's unbelievable. Like it still sounds like it. She still sounds decent. Like she's gonna carry Goku to her grave.
Yeah.
I was surprised when I found out that Alana Bridgewater, well-known voice actress, voices Mr. King Dice in Cuphead.
Huh.
Oh yeah, that's right. He does have some speaking lines, doesn't he?
Oh yeah, but we're not going to focus on that right now because that's the kind of thing you need to experience yourself, and I don't want to give myself a Vietnam flashback to the King Dice fight. Please, you don't want to see that.
Everybody loves a good boss rush mode.
Yeah, but that's something for another time.
Very well. I guess the only other big thing I had on Xbox was the fact that they just kind of left you with the hey, the next Xbox is coming out and its codename's Scarlet, and we're like, ooh.
Yep.
There was a bunch of other trolling going on, but like, you can go like just seriously go watch some of these press conferences for yourselves. Fast forward to the end when they do the Gears of War thing. That's another instance where I laughed. There were a lot of laughs in Microsoft because it's like I can't tell if they care, but then they give me the whole hey, the brand strengthening thing, hey, the gamers outreach program, hey, look at all the serious stuff we're doing. Also, get trolled.
Yeah, I mean. They're doing a crossover with Gears of War and the Funko Pop toys.
Yeah, there it is. You ruined it, man. I wanted them to go see it. Yeah. Like, the thing I wanted the most out of that part was I wanted to see the crowd's reaction, because when they showed that logo, everybody was on fire, man. They were cheering and screaming. And then as soon as the Funko Pop Marcus Phoenix popped out, like, it almost sounded like they muted the audio. It went dead silent, and you just hear like a couple people audibly groaning, like, ugh, and I'm like,
yeah. I got nothing against Funko Pop figures, and we were just talking about Bandai Namco doing the anime crossover thing, so I'd be a hypocrite if I said I opposed it on principle. It's just,
dude. No, you're hitting on something. That would be the only natural progression for Jump Force, is if all the characters were Funko Pop versions of themselves. I would check the heck out. That's it. E3, we're done.
Yeah. And they kind of got that right now with like the online mode in Dragon Ball Fighters with like the chibi heads in the online mode, but it's not quite the same thing.
Well, that's an Arc System Works thing. They love doing that.
Uh-huh.
Anybody else got anything else on Microsoft before I shift the ball?
Not me.
Actually, I do. And this goes back to what I was saying about Ninja Theory.
Mm-hmm.
There was that trailer. Everyone kind of knew this was happening because the domain name got registered online, but there was a trailer for a real Devil May Cry game, Devil May Cry 5. And I got the impression that they're basically acting like the reboot that Ninja Theory did all those years ago basically didn't happen. It doesn't count. So
No, honestly, I thought that character that they were showing off the whole time was DMC Dante, and I'm like, ew, no, get it away from me. And then they're just like, no, it's Nero.
yeah,
What?
suspiciously like the DMC Dante. Kind of maybe they're having it both ways, but I want to confess something, and I know this is going to horribly offend some people.
Yeah,
The Ninja Theory reboot is actually my favorite in the series.
I am slightly perturbed, to be honest.
I'm just
Had to be
angry about things on principle.
What?
I'm just angry about things as a general rule.
Because you have to be?
Yeah,
That's,
pretty much.
that's no way to live life. Go give Dante a hug.
Uh,
And then you can be mad.
I mean, don't get me wrong. I'm giving the rest of the series a shot, and I'm enjoying it so far. Dante's Awakening, kind of a guilty pleasure, but when that whole kerfuffle was happening, I was more than a little peeved on principle. Not with the new direction, but the fact that the fan base was treating it based off the new kid's hairdo as sacrilege. I don't know how else to put it.
Yeah,
I
me same.
remember having this
I did that too.
conversation with Tyler when that was in full swing. Have you seen the movie 28 Days Later?
Yes, sir.
It's been some time, but yes.
Well, the guy who wrote the script for that movie, he supervised the story for the Ninja Theory reboot. And he said that he got a similar kind of backlash when that movie came out over the fact that the zombies were runners as opposed to the traditional slow walkers.
Oh, that makes sense. Dante he did seem like a zombie. He seemed cold and lifeless and
Yeah.
uninteresting. So yeah, that matches up.
And
You're
in
right.
the trailer, he did look suspiciously older in that off-putting, how do you do, fellow kids, old guy. Like, that meme with
Yeah.
older guy? Yeah, it
Yeah.
kind of looked like that. I want to give it a shot, but the whole thing sort of reeks of desperation. I don't know why.
Well, hang on. You mean like Nero as a character was like, "Hey, all you young people"?
Just
Just-
the whole Devil May Cry 5
Oh,
thing.
the whole thing. Well, supposedly this game has been in development for like 3 years. There was a leak for it going for as far back as November 26th last year. So we've been waiting on this information for some time.
Yeah.
I'm looking at it right now. I'm just surprised it actually happened. Honestly, I thought it was just some elaborate troll or something someone wrote up because they're very hopeful.
Yeah.
I'm happy for it. Like we get punished Nero. He's got a fake arm and everything. It's like this is some Metal Gear shit. And then we got actual Dante at the end, and I'm like, nice, nice,
Yeah.
nice.
And
So-
whatever happens, we can all agree it's not going to be as bad as Devil May Cry the Squeakquel.
What?
The second one, Devil May Cry 2,
Why would you phrase it like that?
because it has a reputation for being the absolute worst of the bunch.
Yeah,
Where it literally almost killed the series in a similar position to the reboot. And everyone's like, oh, it's all flawless, absolutely perfect. And I'm like, oh, what? Like Devil May Cry 2 was somehow actually good? Sort of a black sheep I use to poke the hornet's nest, remind them that nothing is perfect.
Nobi Noodle over here might be dead, but he is still a big Devil May Cry fan from Beyond the Grave, and he was always telling me that 2 sucked. So I'm like, okay.
Yeah.
And he showed me 3, and I was like, who's that stud? Oh, that's Jester. I love him. I want that bodysuit.
Yeah.
So yeah, I have to agree with you there. I've never played it, but that seems to be the general consensus among DMC fans is that 2 fucking sucked. So
Yeah.
I also apologize for my salty language. Yeah, I don't know if you sensed that here, but like,
Oh, no, it's fine. Everyone has strong attachments to the series in some form or another.
very good, very good. Hey, do we count PC as a big 3? I mean, big 4. I mean, platform. I mean, AAA. I mean,
Why not?
Yeah, I've been following the stuff that's going on with the PC side of things. It does look promising, even if I'm not going to.
Did you guys watch the PC gaming show at all?
I didn't.
I wasn't able to keep track of all the conferences like you were, but I did
Okay.
follow along.
I took days off work for this, so like we had people
Really?
over. We made a party out of it. Yeah, it was pretty crazy. We actually watched the PC gaming show this year, which is something we've never done. And honestly, it was pretty crickets. Like there was nothing really stand out except for a new add-on to Don't Starve, and I fucking love that game. It's so fun.
Yeah.
This game called Ooblets is like Stardew Valley meets Pokemon, so that looked interesting.
That's like a deadly combination.
Yeah, I was honestly surprised. I was like, I'm kind of on the fence. I might actually try this. And then they did this. They hammered home probably the cringiest part of the entire E3 experience was PC gaming shows tie-ins with Drake's cakes.
What?
Oh man, yeah, the snack food, Drake's motherfucking cakes, son. They had some lady trying to pitch Drake's cakes next to someone in the Drake's cakes mascot like costume. And it was so bad that it doesn't seem like it was rehearsed at all. She kept forgetting lines. She kept looking at this duck, and the duck is like flashing rock symbols with his hands and doing dabs and stuff, and just yeah, and then just kind of standing around with his arms, like hanging down, like he's all right. I'm done. I'm burning in here. Like this is awful.
Ugh. I thought the Disco Panda at Ubisoft's conference was pushing it. Good lord.
We had a discussion where we all thought Aisha Tyler was going to take off that panda head.
Really?
Yeah, we were just like, it's got to be her. There's no way. But we never found out. She seems lost to the ether. So that's all I got from PC. So, look at them go, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
Do you guys have strong opinions about Sony? Can you tell who I'm saving for last?
I could make an educated guess, but I'm going to let you reveal it yourself. I don't want to ruin anything like the Gears of War Funko Pop thing.
It's Bethesda! Anyway, go ahead. Sony. Let's talk some PlayStation.
All right.
The new Spider-Man game.
Spider-Man.
That looks cool.
Yeah.
For the longest time, I think live on air, we were trying to figure out who that reverse guy was.
Mm-hmm.
The
Mr.
reverse,
Negative.
Yeah, Mr. Negative. Is that actually his name? Like, it's been like a couple days since we taped it, and I can't remember anymore. He's so forgettable.
Yeah.
I think he's I don't know, Tyler. You're the comic expert here. Do you know if that character, Mr. Negative, is he actually someone in the comics, or is he one of those? We're going to create him for a new medium character, like when they did Harley Quinn for the Batman animated series.
He's basically like a street-level bad guy who just happens to have superpowers and is a mafia man or something.
I see. Service purpose.
So he's the Sopranos. Gotcha.
Yeah.
Yep.
I don't know. Like, that game looks hella fun. But the fact that they got Yuri Lewenthow to voice Spider-Man just kind of made me not want to play it because I don't want to listen to him.
Yeah, well, I got a lot of faith in that one because I've been a fan of Insomniac for a very long time.
Oh, yeah, totally.
The original Spyro trilogy came out. So I'm sure they'll pull through with something relatively decent.
Oh, no, like I said, that game looks hella fun. Like, I'm going to have a time playing that game. I don't want to listen to Yuri Lewenthow. But, he's in everything. He drives me nuts.
Yeah.
He's like Vic McNuggers. Just, if there's a mute button on Spider-Man, like, hell yeah. I'm going to have a time.
Yeah. Speaking of Spyro, you guys have any strong feelings about that Reignited trilogy coming out?
Looks cool.
Yeah, it's going to be great. It was all over PAX.
Mm-hmm. Of course, this isn't the first time we've had a fan favorite mascot from the Sony days get a HD makeover.
Yeah, Final Fantasy VII remake. That's what you're talking about, right? Yeah.
That's definitely a thing that exists.
Dente.
What?
Don't you remember when they did this with the Crash Bandicoot remake and everyone? It was really good, but a lot of people realized
that was the joke.
Yeah,
I was being sarcastic.
Oh, right.
Who could forget Crash? Like, WoW dominated our household for a while.
Yeah.
Like, every day we would just sit there and go, whoa, 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 whoa.
of course, if you guys remember, there was also another particular meme that dominated when the Crash remake came out. I'm not going to mention it because it's played out, but if you guys do remember, you'll know what I'm hinting at with this.
Is it whoa?
Is it the
That
fact that
Crash
it's
Bandicoot.
basically like Dark Souls?
Yeah,
Yeah,
because a lot of people didn't realize just how freaking difficult it was. I'm not saying it's going to happen here with Spyro, but I learned my lesson. I know that obviously it's not going to be as easy or good as I remember. I mean, it's 20-year-old games, guys. We have to give them the benefit of the doubt.
No,
But
it's just that generation, man. Like the rest of us, I don't mean to sound jaded, but like we grew up with Crash, so we know how hard it is already. But a lot of the newer folk who never had a chance or just never found the time or cared enough to go experience Crash on the PS1 or the PS2 or the GameCube were just this is their first foray into Crash Bandicoot, and they're like, "Holy ballsack, this game is hard." And then, of course, since Dark Souls is like the figurehead when it comes to hard games now, of course they're going to compare Crash to that.
yeah,
Like you saw it coming, but just the rate at which it took off was like eye-opening.
yeah.
Yes, Dark Souls is the Crash Bandicoot of Dark Souls. So
As someone with a nostalgic attachment to both of those, it was amusing, but also kind of nightmarish.
yeah, a little bit.
Nobody made a ham-fisted praise the spin joke. That was a missed opportunity.
Praise the woe.
Not.
Praise the Wumpa fruit.
Yeah. And you, Tyler, you're going to find out for yourself because if memory serves me right, you're not only going to be getting Dark Souls Remastered yourself once the Switch version comes out, but you're getting the Insane Trilogy for the Switch in a couple weeks, right?
Yep, that'll be fun. It definitely won't cause any sort of cardiovascular problems.
Have you never played Crash before?
No, sir.
Oh,
What?
this is going to be a treat for you. I'm excited. You have to tell me all about your time with it.
Didn't you grow up on the original PlayStation like me?
No, my brother only had NES and an SNES and an N64.
Oh, my.
That
This
I
is
get.
going to be... Hey, Nintendo, if you're listening to this for some arbitrary reason,
Please don't flag
maybe
it.
you come out with a more resilient Switch case, like what they have for the iPhones, in case you drop it.
Oh, just gut a Nerf ball. Throw it in there. There you go.
Yeah.
That'll
They're
do the
actually
trick.
coming out with a new level. This isn't like last year with the Stormy Ascent DLC. This is a brand new original level from the ground up created for Crash Bandicoot Warped called Future Tense. It's going to be coming out with the Switch, PC, and Xbox One versions of the game. Those are all coming out on June 29th. And for the PS4 crowd, it's arriving as a free content patch, which is nice.
I think they talked about that during some of the E3 Twitch streams. I think they may have showed it off. I'll have to go back and check.
Yeah.
I could always use more Crash. It's just I don't agree with the people who say Crash for Smash. It's like that I want Crash up to a point.
Yeah. But then again, Sonic the Hedgehog found his way into Smash Brothers, so don't rule
Honestly,
anything out.
I think Sonic's a different case, but we could get into that for hours. Like
Yeah.
there's something more iconic about Mario and Sonic than Mario and Crash.
You're not wrong. Not to mention, it's going to make those commercials from the 90s look really surreal. Like the ones where you literally was shouting out the Nintendo HQ in front of TVs in that mascot suit.
I love those commercials. I want that suit.
Uh,
The things I would do with that suit.
but the old 90s suit from those commercials, I read about this. They tried to bring it back out again for when the Insane Trilogy got revealed, but it was too decayed to use or restore.
Well, they used. I guess they made a new one then because they did a couple new commercials.
Mm-hmm. That's why they couldn't reuse the old 90s outfit.
Poor
Is there a
Crash.
poignant metaphor in there somewhere? I just have to look for it.
So, I think the next game that Sony made was I'm probably going to get this wrong, but the Ghosts of Tsushima.
Yeah.
That
That's how you
game
pronounce it.
was looked absolutely beautiful in its trailer.
Yeah.
It looks fantastic. It's definitely very reminiscent of Okami. I have written down that it looks like Breath of the Wild meets Samurai Jack and or Princess Mononoke.
Wow.
And the
That
main,
is
yeah,
very high praise.
that's a dream team up right there. And the main character looks like how Mitsurugi from Soul Calibur plays, and I'm like, I'm all about that.
Yeah.
This
I
game.
do owe Sucker Punch at least one opportunity at redemption because Infamous Second Son, it just felt disappointingly mediocre. And I know Sucker Punch. They're one of the few developers that I literally bought every single game they ever made, all the way back on the Nintendo 64 with Rocket Robot on Wheels.
What a
And
game.
yeah, and Tyler and I can attest to this. Sly Cooper, I'm going to say it, best single-player trilogy of platformers to ever come out on the PlayStation 2. Better than Ratchet, and especially better than Jak and Daxter. Fight me.
Yeah, no, I have to agree, honestly. The Jak and Daxter 1 was great. Everybody seemed to like 2, but Sly Cooper 2 is probably one of my most favorite and most beloved, cherished Sony games. It was just so fun. I think it
Yeah.
was the only Sony game I actually bothered to complete past completion. Like, I don't know why. It was just so fun.
What are you,
And if
pro
they can-
Gerard the finishist?
Ew, no. Don't you ever compare me to that filth again.
Hey.
But honestly, if they can recapture the magic in Ghost of Tsushima with, like they can recapture the magic, sorry, of Sly 2, or just that feeling that it portrayed in Ghost of Tsushima, then yeah, like I'm not gonna put that game down. I don't even have a PS4, and I'm not gonna put that game down.
Yeah. Well, as long as it's better than Infamous Second Son, I'll forgive them. Everyone has a chance at redemption. And the funny thing is, this is exactly the same arc I went through last year with Neo, because they made a really underwhelming game with Metroid Other M, and they redeemed themselves last year with a really kick-ass samurai action game. And I know about Neo 2. There was an announcement of that. So it's just the timing between, Ghost of Tsushima, Neo, and of course From Software doing Sekiro Shadows Die Twice. It's really awkward. Like, you know how there's that uncomfortable bit if you've got two women at a party and they run into each other and they're both wearing the same outfit?
Yeah.
Now it's like there's three of them and all the outfits are basically samurai armor with very pointy swords. It's going to be a very messy cat fight.
That would be an awkward at a party.
Yeah.
That was quite the analogy.
Mm-hmm. Well, I don't
Honestly,
know how.
I don't know what to say there. Okay, so like you let those three cat fight. I'm gonna turn my attention to the real beauty in the room, and that's the Resi 2 remake.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
That's going to be fun.
extra thick.
I'm surprised it took them this long.
You mean to announce it?
Yeah.
We all knew it was coming.
Yeah.
It was only a matter of time.
Yeah, I noticed early on in the trailer that it had like a mock-up render of an old PS1.
Yeah, it was cute.
Detail. That was something of a dead giveaway.
Well, I think the only thing that I took away from that trailer, other than the fact that OMFG, it's Resident Evil 2, is the fact that who keeps that much cereal in their place of their living quarters? That's a lot of cereal. That rat, if he were still alive today, he'd be drowning in cereal.
Yeah, drowning in cereal and in diabetes, because that looked sugary as all hell.
I wonder if rats can get diabetes. It's early.
Yeah.
There was another beauty in that room, though, and that was Death Stranding.
Yeah,
Eh.
real cute.
Oh, yeah, a lot of people that I was talking to about that game seemed like either perplexed or just confused to the point that they didn't want to play it. And I'm like, guys, this is the Kojima method.
Yeah, but the trailers did not tell us anything of how the game played. It looks weird, it looks interesting, but we didn't see how the game is actually gonna play. And since Kojima is the type of guy who knows how to make games that play like games, that's not the most encouraging of signs.
Right. Well, that he's been doing that forever, like since Metal Gear Solid 4. He's a master of his craft. He's not gonna sit there and give us gameplay. Like, I don't think he ever has he, in any of his trailers? It's just like, check out the cinematic. It's going to make you want to play it. You're not going to know a damn thing, but you're going to want to try it. The only thing that I took away that we saw a little bit of gameplay. We did. And honestly, I think we're going to get equipable babies.
Oh, God, don't go there. You're going to make it sound like he's going to brandish that baby as like a weapon, a physical weapon.
Well, when he woke it up, he's
What's
just
wrong
like,
with
hey,
that?
everybody, it's time to go to work. The baby's like, oh, snap. And it gave him the little light bulb. Light bulb powers.
Yeah, it's basically like how the little sisters work, only baby.
Yeah. So I'm like, equipable baby? My interest is piqued. I must know how this works.
Did it also not occur to anyone that when they were showing that trailer at the conference, it was right after the Kingdom Hearts 3 trailer? So, like, the transition was very jarring. How do you go from RPG to looking inside a womb at a slightly underdeveloped child?
Well, I think it goes back to, at this point, we'd seen so much Kingdom Hearts where it was probably very easy, in fact, to transition to that game because they're just like, okay, yes, you've seen Kingdom Hearts, but here's something you haven't seen yet, and they just throw that right at you.
It's just thematically, like it was, you know, it went from 0 to negative 100 really freaking quick.
Yeah, I'm all for that. Like, hit the nitro button. Here we go. Look out. Buckle up.
But let's not forget that Hideo Kojima, for all his mastery, that also includes being a master of misinformation. Admittedly, it doesn't affect me as much because I was only like 10 when this was all going down, but you know why a lot of people hated Metal Gear Solid 2 back in the day?
You shush.
Well, can I at least explain?
Yes, you can.
Well, a lot of people, when Metal Gear Solid 2 came out, everyone knows now that it's only the first hour or so of that game that you spend as Solid Snake, and the rest of it is spent as a new character, Raiden.
Yeah.
But here's the thing. This was way back in the infancy of mainstream internet where, believe it or not, YouTube and Wikipedia and Google, they basically didn't exist as they do now. In fact, YouTube didn't even come out for another 3 years. So not only were the trailers that showed off Snake in the areas that were ultimately going to be played by Raiden deliberately misleading, and then replacing him with this new character that no one knew about was complete insanity. No one knew it was coming at all, and they were pissed.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, he had said in a trailer or like an interview recently that not a lot of people were really impressed or happy with that. But it was like the groundwork for Metal Gear as we know it today. And honestly, I kind of miss those days of, no internet. You had to learn everything yourself before you could go and tell it to somebody else.
Yeah.
And like, I don't know, we're never going to get that again. So just the feeling of people learning about Raiden and being pissed off and be like, yo, where's Snake? Like, admittedly, I did the same thing, but I grew to like Raiden.
Yeah.
I don't like him as much, but it like going back to it now, I appreciate the game more for the things that he had tried, because then other people tried it too. Like,
yeah, and that's the one thing I hope people understand, especially Sony's marketing team, when Death Stranding does come out. I'm not saying it's going to be a bad game or that we should go into it with intentionally low expectations. It's just that's Kojima's thing.
Right.
He's an auteur, and what he does isn't always going to gel with the mainstream consciousness.
Isn't he a Buddhist monk, too?
Oh, I didn't know that, actually.
I don't know.
I think it was either him or Swery.
Oh, Swery, my buddy.
Yeah. The thing about those kind of people is that, I get the temptation. I know why they're doing this. They're trying to stick a giant middle finger in Konami's eye socket over firing him and canceling Silent Hills. But not everyone is going to have that frame of reference. They're just going to look at this game and think, oh, it's something with Norman Reedus from The Walking Dead. I watched The Walking Dead. I like that show. They're going to go into it with no frame of reference for Kojima's backstory, his quirks. And, they might hate it on principle. And that's fine. It doesn't have to be universally beloved in order for Sony to successfully make its case that Konami fucked up and they brought this on themselves.
No, Sony knew what it was walking into when they bought Kojima's properties. when they bought, Kojima Productions. They're just like, we already know who you are.
Yeah.
Here's some money, go crazy. And he's doing it. He's doing what he wants for a change. And honestly,
That's
you know,
nice.
if we let him vent his creative frustrations from Konami in this game, it's gonna make him a better person for his next game. He'll be like, all right,
Yeah.
I got all that out. It's great. I feel great. Here comes the next game. You're not ready.
Yeah. That's ultimately most important, and I'm glad he has that opportunity, if nothing else.
Yeah.
Even if this game is terrible, at least it'll be a noble failure.
Honestly, this is true. But I think it's destined to do great things.
Yeah.
Only time will tell, I suppose.
And it definitely won't be as bad as Metal Gear Survive.
What? What game is that? I don't know what you're talking about.
That's not a thing that exists at all.
No, it's not.
Right. I apologize.
You got to lay off the hooch there, mate. It's 10 a.m.
Big Al Dente.exe has stopped working.
Yeah. Log error number 420.wtf. I apologize for causing these two to have a mental breakdown on a Sunday morning. I take full responsibility.
Paying $10 for a save file, my ass. Grumble, grumble. Oh, wait, before we move on from Sony, here are two things that pissed me off, and maybe you guys feel the same. Did you notice that when they were transitioning, when the Sony press conference was over, they showed you that guy with the camera? He was sitting in the hallway as people were leaving the auditorium. You notice Hideo Kojima walked by? And they were talking to all these people, like they were interviewing all these people, and I'm like, hey, I don't care about those. Hideo Kojima's right there. Where's he going? What the heck? Are we going to talk about Death Stranding? No? For real? We're going to talk about Spider-Man again for like the fourth time? Mother goddamn. Fucking stop him. Go.
Spider-Man's a menace.
Well,
Jesus. He's right there. God. And then when they were doing the VR games, we were treated to Justin Roiland's new Rick and Morty-esque stupid VR game. Yeah. And I was like, oh, wonderful. But then, you remember how I told you guys earlier? Oh, no, this is a different podcast. Sorry. These people that they were talking to, they casually dropped the God of War New Game Plus in conversation. Like, no prior conversations or trailers or anything like that had been talked about. They're just like, oh, yeah, it's coming. So that was irritating. But then they did it again with the VR game from Software.
Deracine, I think that's how you pronounce it.
Yeah. And I was like, hang on. So you're telling me we wasted screen time for that Rick and Morty garbage, and then you keep the game that I actually want to see, I didn't even know was a thing until now, until after the press conference is over? Are you... Guys, do I have to smack a bitch?
Dude!
Am I going to lose weight smacking a bitch? This game looks way more interesting than that crap. And you're probably only talking about that crap because it's like mainstream right now. No, that's not how this works. This is E3. Like a place. This is the place for a game to get spotlight.
Well, yeah, but maybe it's like with the Kojima thing. They're deliberately keeping the cards close to the chest because that's always been the allure of the Kojimas and From Software Souls games.
I would agree with you, but then they went into like a 10-minute conversation with gameplay and cutscenes, and I was like, this could have easily filled that time slot. Take that Rick and Morty crap and throw it away. Put this in there. People are going to want this more. Rick and Morty's, like, I guess they're both niche, but like, yo, stop. I'm sorry. It just really irritated me.
So Nintendo's a thing.
Nintendo. Yay.
The one thing from the takeaway, that's the takeaway from that conference. There's no bullshitting it. There was too much Smash. 7.8 out of 10, too much Smash.
Oh, man, not enough Smash. I came for Smash. I stayed for Smash.
Hey, Hollow Knight's coming to the Switch.
Say what?
Before we get into this, let's just bring out the bread that is everything else before we get to the grilled chicken sandwich that is Smash.
You want to build the Smash sandwich. That's fair.
God, stop making me hungry.
For Smash.
So, I'm not sure how many people feel about this, but Like a few weeks ago when they showed the trailer for Pokemon Let's Go Pikachu and Let's Go Eevee, and they had that music and like
Mm.
all of that,
Mm.
I kind of had to like stop myself from like giggling and flapping my hands up and down in profound excitement.
Yeah, like honestly, when I saw that trailer initially, I was taken aback, but in a bad way. I was like,
Yeah.
"Uh-oh, I'm concerned." But then the end when they showed that sizzle reel and they fucking turned it up to 10 with that music, I'm like, what are these feelings? Like an entire history of a game that has resonated with me is all coming back. I think I might have to shed a tear here. What's going on? It was very powerful, which is weird for me to say. Because this isn't something I normally like to admit. Like I don't even really like Pokemon that much anymore, but the way I felt watching that trailer made me
Yeah.
feel like a kid again. I'm like, all those times I used to be a kid and be like, yeah, Pokemon are real. I'm gonna be the best. I think Pikachu is rad. I was like, wow, you made me feel like how I did back then, and
Yeah.
like not in just a oh yeah I'm feeling nostalgic. It was a very powerful wave of holy crap. I
Yeah.
remember all this now, and I
Pokemon.
think that game is going to create a lot of good stories, especially for kids now. It is for the chillins. They dumbed it down a lot, so a lot of the hardcore Pokemon fans are going to be really unhappy with how easy it is. But I think
You
it's
can get the original. You can get Red, Blue, and Yellow on the 3DS for like $10, and it downloads onto your 3DS in like less than 2 minutes. So
right, but it's 2018, and
yeah,
you'd be hard pressed to find someone who isn't all about the graphics and all
Yeah.
about the new things that people are into that they can brag about with their friends on social media. Like Red, Blue, and Yellow, it's old. Like
yeah.
hardcore Pokemon fans are definitely going to go and download that, but I can't really see a 5-year-old choosing that over Let's Go Pikachu or Eevee. You know what I mean?
I mean,
It's
Like
understandable.
they throw the Pokeball. They're gonna have a rip roaring good time. There are gonna be so many Pokeballs in TVs soon. Like
Yeah.
just they're gonna let go and lodge them into TVs. You're gonna see horror stories abound. And it's gonna be funny.
and the
But
first Pokemon, and this is a feature I appreciate that hasn't been around since Heart Gold and Soul Silver. Is that the
Mhm.
Pokemon who's in your first slot actually follows you around. And if the Pokemon is big enough, like say Onyx, which is again just something that hit me right and stabbed me right in the childhoods, is that you could actually ride on top of the Onyx, and it's to
yeah,
scale. Like all of the Pokemon are to scale, like how big they've been described as, and that's
Yeah.
wonderful.
it's pedantic in good ways.
Yeah.
And I'm honestly I've come around on it since they released that trailer. I'm like, all right,
Also, the
I'm
Pokeball controller.
yeah, it's got Mew in it.
It's
Yeah.
it's like completely superfluous, but I already want one, and just I can't wait. I want to hear stories about kids having Pokemon adventures with like just carrying that Pokeball around town.
Yeah, see,
Yeah.
exactly. That's what I was saying.
Hmm.
That's exactly what I was saying. And
Yeah.
honestly, I want if I have the money, I'm gonna go buy an extra one, and I'm gonna go put it under a truck.
Why?
Just Mew under the truck.
Dude.
Yeah, I'm gonna leave it under a truck in just some random place, and I'm gonna let somebody find a Mew under a truck,
They deserve
provided they
better
don't run
than
it
that.
over.
But what if they don't see it and they start up the truck and drive over it by
Well,
mistake?
I'm not gonna put it under a tire.
And that
But like they'll back up and they'll be like, "Hey, what's that?" And it's a Pokeball, and they're gonna touch the center. It's gonna make a Mew noise, and they'll be like, "Oh,
You could have been more specific at the beginning. You probably inadvertently traumatized the
no,
majority of
I hate Mew so much. I'm gonna leave him under a tire." But speaking of hate, I don't hate the new Mario Party. There's no more fucking vehicle. We're back,
Yay.
boys.
and you can play as a Goomba,
Yeah,
Yeah.
Goomba.
and just I feel like this is gonna get overlooked because of everything else on the E3. But remember that part when they were playing that tank game in the trailer, and they put the two Switch screens together?
They did that a lot in the Treehouse streams. They were showing that technology off, and I was like, Wow.
Oh my
Yeah.
goodness.
It
I
makes
was
that they would do something like this to really reinforce the social nature of the Switch platform. Because the truth is, I can't think of any other Switch multiplayer game that really succeeded in making people more friends. And no, Mario Kart doesn't count. That game is basically antisocial as hell, and you know it.
Yeah.
yeah, it does make enemies. But honestly, from my time doing streams and my time with the Switch, I think ARMS actually succeeded in doing that. Honestly, because like we played 4-player ARMS matches in here very, very often. Everybody
Yeah.
was jumping around the living room, getting sweaty, and just
Yeah,
having a good time, looking real stupid, and we all had a good laugh about it. And like,
yeah.
I think ARMS is fantastic, and
That spastic flailing will always attract a crowd. And just thinking
amen.
about it's making me nostalgic for when Wii Sports was a thing, and you had
Yeah.
people ignoring the straps and literally flinging the remotes up into ceiling fans, breaking their TVs, hurting themselves.
Right. That's why I said I'm looking forward to having Pokeball Pluses in people's TVs,
Yeah.
hearing all the horror stories.
Yeah, that'll be fun.
So they also like quite a few third-party games. Like I said, at the time of the the E3-ish Nintendo Direct, they like Hollow Knight, which I've heard very good things about. And once I get a
Mhm.
big enough micro SD card, that's an oxymoron. I intend to buy it. Let's see, Dragon Ball Fighter Z is coming to the Switch, which I kind of guessed, but I'm still happy that it's a thing that's happening.
Yeah.
So
I
I
can
don't
tell you
know.
right now, just before we continue, I do want to mention I did get a big enough micro SD card just so I could buy a Hollow Knight when it was announced. The surprise E3 drop, totally unexpected. I've been playing it for a few hours right now, but holy fuck, if you do not have this game on your Switch, you need to rectify that immediately. It really is as good as everyone has said.
All right then.
Sorry, I just had to get out of my system. It really is that good.
I saw people speedrunning it at Awesome Games Done Quick, and it does look like a lot of fun. One day I will definitely dip into that.
Yeah, it's arguably the best quirky Kickstarter-funded indie game starring a lovable knight character this side of, well...
Oh, you mean Undertale? Yeah.
We even haven't released it yet, and we are not going to get distracted by Undertale. If we do, we're never going to get out.
So that's enough bread and cheese and lettuce and tomato and caramelized onion. Let's move on to the grilled chicken of Nintendo.
Oh, hang on. One more thing. One more thing.
Okay.
They did announce a new Fire Emblem.
Oh yeah,
My hot take for that is, needs more Marth.
yeah.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it does look good for all it's worth, but I was just like Marth. But
Well,
Marth. But okay, now we can smash. Let's smash.
Yep. So I just thought it was going to be a smash on the same scale as the previous two, but I was completely surprised in the best way possible.
Yep.
Yeah. As
Smash
soon as
Brothers
everyone is back, showed up on my screen, my smile disappeared and my eyes widened and I stood up. And what I was treated to after that,
Snake.
Yeah.
Snake.
Like,
I'm disappointed his butt is gone, so we got to go back and find that.
Really? What is
And
it with you guys and obsessing over Nintendo's character suggestive traits? We had that weird bit where everyone was freaking out that Luigi apparently had a bulge in Mario Tennis Aces.
Hey, that's awesome.
Yeah.
And now we've got this.
Like
Laura Kate Dale has given me an appreciation of the video game form.
Oh, is that all?
Yeah.
I just like people and people's butts, mate. Like if someone had to go back and tell me about Samus's breast reduction, I was just like, I don't know. I'm still hung up on Snake's ass being missing. Like, where'd it go? Gotta go find
that
it.
Bayonetta's presence compensates for all this and move on, shall we?
No, Snake's butt. What else? I honestly thought we weren't going to get 8 players to come back. So that was a thing, and I'm like, yeah, boy.
Oh, that's going to be fun.
Yeah. Final Smash is being streamlined. I have all these notes on character differences.
Mm-hmm.
The Mii's being voice acted was a megaton. I'm like, yo, I loved Mii Fighter. So I get to pick my voice now, and they're like, all amiibos are cross compatible, and I'm like, I get to keep my stupid outfit.
Yeah,
Woohoo! This
That
is gonna
is
be great.
nice.
and every single one of the stages is gonna be in Super Smash Brothers Ultimate. It has a
They did
battlefield
say
and an Omega form, which is I
yes,
appreciate.
but
Yeah.
they did say most of the stages were coming back from all the previous games, but not all of them.
Which
Uh,
ones got cut?
We don't know that yet. I was honestly hoping Great Cave Offensive from Wii U was getting cut, but if you watch King Dedede's fighter trailer on the website, you see it there. And I'm like,
Yeah,
oh,
I did.
mother crap. I hate that stage.
they're bringing back Big Blue.
Yeah.
Oh, that thing. Before I actually started riding roller coasters as a kid, that gave me roller coaster based nausea.
Yeah, that's fast.
Are you talking the GX version on the GameCube?
No, I mean the stage from Melee.
Oh, yeah.
Just the
No,
stage.
as long as we're talking about F-Zero, I was a little disappointed that they didn't mention anything about a virtual console, or at least an opportunity to play some of the older GameCube titles as HD remasters. I was paranoid that by the mentioning of F-Zero and like the word F-Zero Ultimax in alleged leaked documents, we were either going to get a new F-Zero or as part of an initial lineup of GameCube remasters, kind of like what they did with the original Xbox games and the Xbox One. They had a lineup of some of the older stuff. That as a part of that GameCube collection, we were going to get the GameCube's equivalent of Ninja Gaiden Black, namely F-Zero GX, a game that, I kid you not, legitimately traumatized me as a child. I still have flashbacks to the second chapter of story mode 15 years later.
That fast, huh?
It wasn't just that. It was, like the sheer brutality of it was a lot for my 12-year-old mind to comprehend. I literally remember throwing the disc in the trash because I just couldn't handle it. It flat out broke me. And this is me we're talking about. If you're a semi-regular listener to this podcast, you know the kind of shit I put myself through. So if a game like that broke me, you know that it is hell incarnate.
You couldn't handle Captain Falcon's moves.
So
I'm sorry that happened, though. That seems pretty.
So yeah. So like you heard it right. Every single character from every installment of Smash Bros. From the N64 to the Wii U and 3DS is back. The Ice Climbers are back finally.
Yay!
Bunch of characters are back. Pichu's back because why not? And while they didn't introduce that many they did introduce two new characters. The first being the Inklings from Splatoon, and those squid kids look like they're gonna just be a ton of fun. And they brought more 8 hours, and the Squid Sisters is an assist trophy.
Yeah.
So you know,
honestly, the Inklings look pretty. There's a wall there. There's a barrier of entry, as it were. Watching some people play as the Inkling in the Invitational, it's just like this character seems a lot more technical than I gave it credit for. You're probably going to have to work really hard to get some damage or some KOs with this character.
Yeah.
The semi-final with Sonic versus Inkling, Inkling couldn't do a damn thing. So Inkling's definitely not busted. You just got to put in work.
Yeah.
it'll be good work.
Yeah, it makes sense, though, when you consider that Splatoon's whole gimmick was being a lot more technical than your average multiplayer shooter. The fact that you're not killing the other person straight away, you're working to control the territory, which is a lot more nuanced.
Yeah, no, that feeling has definitely translated here into Smash Brothers. You really have to dominate the field if you want to make headway with Inkling. You got to leave it dirty. You got to leave fighters dirty. You got to get in there. You got to like pull up your sleeves, man. You can't just sit there and expect the splatter shot or the roller to do the work for you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
that's complete opposite, though, of Ridley, who has a press button to rack up damage mechanic.
Yes. Yep. People can finally stop saying words about Ridley now.
Yeah. I guarantee he's going to get nerfed.
He's like, what they say, initial impressions of Ridley leave him extremely busted right now, which is funny because during the Invitational, like, he didn't get anywhere. Like, I think they just picked Ridley because they wanted to show off. Like, hey, look, it's the new character. Derp, derp. And he didn't last very long. So you're definitely going to have to learn his ins and outs too. But he definitely seems far easier to master than Inkling. Like, especially that down B move. Good God. In 1v1, 50 damage with the sweet spot. Screw you. Not even Marth gets that with his sweet spot.
Am I the only one getting nightmarish flashbacks to Meta Knight circa Brawl right now? Hearing about this?
Yes.
Not really, because Meta Knight, like, yeah, he was broken in Brawl, but he still had to work for it.
True.
Ridley, you just put some distance between you and a fighter, and you press 2 buttons, and you have 50 damage. That's insane, and especially if you get more damage in 1v1s and you get more knockback, like, he's gonna have to be nerfed before release because that's just insane.
Yeah,
what the
you
fuck?
Can't let someone like that fall through the cracks.
Oh yeah. 1v1 fights deal more damage than fights with like 3 or more people, which I thought was neat.
Yeah, that is really cool. Now 1v1 has more weight to it.
Mm-hmm. Well, it makes sense when you're dealing with more people. They need to have some kind of scaling mechanic. But we do need to address the elephant in the room.
You mean Daisy?
Barring Ridley and the Inklings and all these technical changes, unless we get a bunch of brand new stuff revealed in the coming months between now and December, it's going to be hard to shake the feeling that Ultimate isn't so much a greatest hits run as it is an HD remake that walks like a sequel.
Don't say that. Don't say it.
It's going to feel a little redundant.
The game is built on a brand new engine, and it, from all the things that I've been reading and looking at, it plays differently than Smash that we're used to.
Yeah, it's made
fast.
All the characters are a lot faster.
You can't play fucking wave dashing anymore. You have to be careful with your shield. Like, spacing is important now. When you get sent flying, you ricochet, like, you're gone, dude. You only slow down when you're falling. Like, you get hit with a strong move and where'd you go? You have to play a little carefully this time. Like, you can't just, it feels more like a fighting game and less like a party game this time, which is exciting to me. They have the dramatic finishing moves. Like, you fuck up, you make one wrong move, you take a step too close, you're too high damage, that's it. Here's your cutscene, the blue impact, the close up, you're dead. Just like, everything can change in an instant, and it feels great. Like, I'm not even playing the game, but just watching all of these things, I'm like, whoo, it feels tight. You clench your butt. They even changed sudden death to where it zooms in and fires around the screen. You take a step and you're dead.
Yeah.
They added a map so you can see where you are when you fall off. Like, you can plan better too, so it's not just a stupid throw myself at a wall free for all anymore. Like, they're finally refining it. Like, all the things that we've said over the years, it's like, how can we make Smash better? I think they finally got it. Wow. And like, it's coming out in December. Reggie did say that they have a lot more surprises coming before then. Somebody on a forum I frequent he committed account suicide to tell us that Rayman is coming. So, book that here. You heard it here first. If that actually happens, just like, hey, there you go, Rayman. I spoiled it for you.
Well, you got the trophy in the last one, so
yeah. All the controllers are compatible. All the amiibos are compatible. All the Omega and Battlefield forums, like you guys said. Like, it just, there's enough going on here. They said in the reveal trailer that all the changes that they could go over, this must be in the thousands. So I know people have been saying, it's a port, it's an HD remaster. Like, hold on.
It kind of isn't.
Like, I made the argument that throughout the years, Smash Brothers has always been the same game. At its core, it is the same every time. But that might be true, but it doesn't mean it's the same game.
Yeah.
It has the same, like, the thing it set out to do. Like, the thing that makes it Smash Brothers, that is the same. But every time they make it better, even if it's just a little bit. So, like, Melee to Brawl, different game. Holy fuck. Brawl to Wii U, holy fuck, completely different. Plays so much better. And now Ultimate, from what I'm seeing, plays so much better than the Wii U one, which we thought was the best version of Smash.
And a lot of people have pointed out that since we've got a solid 6 months, and so there's a good chance we're going to have at least one Smash Bros. Themed direct before then to unveil any last minute goodies.
Yeah, I was disappointed, honestly. There were 2 assist trophies that I wanted as playable fighters, Bomberman and Sukapon. I was like, well, at least they're here now. So that's exciting.
Maybe they're just laying down the groundwork.
And the disrespect for Waluigi was real. Scathing.
Yeah, but on the internet, like everything else on the internet, like all of the legitimate hangups people may or may not have had are just been drowned out by a sea of people acting like the whiniest babies. Like, seriously. Like, my goodness, Sakurai is probably, he's probably the most tiredest man on earth now.
Yeah. You guys see that meme where he was standing there making the direct hand gesture? In the bottom it says, "Don't ever ask me for anything ever again."
Yeah.
That's already infamous. And this isn't even the first time this has happened. He said that Ultimate could potentially be the last game of the series, but he also said something similar, I think, when Super Smash Bros. Brawl came out. And, even if Sakurai, for some reason or another, were to move on from Smash, Nintendo's gonna find a way to keep doing it.
He said in I think it was the tournament, where he had said that this is probably the last Smash Brothers he's going to direct personally. Nintendo is free to go and make another one after if they want, but he's probably calling it here, which is fine.
The man's earned his rest.
Seriously, he could probably sit on money he gets from every copy sold. Like his cut, he could probably live on that for the rest of his life.
Yeah, and maybe as a tribute, they'll include him as an actual playable Smash character in the next one. That would be something.
Or maybe, I
would love that, but I want Reggie more.
Why not both?
Give me big hulking Reggie any day.
No, Reggie Fils-a-Mech.
Yeah. Oh God, the Fils-a-Mech, his Echo Fighter Fils-a-Mech.
Yeah. Like Echo, since we've gotten all the big stuff out of the way, we can get to they finally have a term for all the clone characters, and a lot of people.
It's called clone characters.
Yeah.
Echo Fighter.
Clone characters. That irritates me so much. I'm like, just call them clones, damn it.
Please. And so a lot of people have speculated that this might be the way certain characters can be in Smash, since it won't take nearly as many resources to put them in. I mean, they're already able to bring Daisy for reasons.
Yeah.
Honestly, it confused me, though, because they didn't brand characters like Young Link and Falco and Dr. Mario as Echo Fighters. And I was like, but that's what they are, though, right? And Roy. Why isn't Roy an Echo Fighter?
I don't know. I guess because he has more raw power and Marth's known as just the fast swordsman.
Right. Yeah. And Lucina is baby mode Marth. And Dr. Mario is heavy hitting Mario. So I'm like, isn't that what they were setting out to do in the first place? Hey, guys, not you, them, but guys, you forgetting a couple people. Falco is just a fox that jumps higher. He hits a little harder. He's an Echo Fighter.
Right.
Yeah. I don't know.
Pichu.
Yeah, and Pichu, especially Pichu. Like, yeah, he hurts himself. But what, from his trailer on the website, he looks like he plays the same. He's even got the same Final Smash. So I'm like, how are these characters not Echo Fighters? Are you just going to do that later? Did you forget? Is this something you're telling me that I don't know? Guess we'll have to wait and see.
Yeah. And say what you will, at least you didn't see that constant cloning in PlayStation All-Stars Battle Royale now, did you?
No. I want another one.
Me too.
I want an All-Stars too.
I want more Parappa the Rapper.
Yeah, there you go. Now you're getting it. Someone modded Parappa the Rapper into Mario Kart 8 on Wii U, and I'm like, I need it.
Imagine Parappa the Rapper on Switch.
That is never
Megaton.
Oh
We'll,
goodness.
we'll just have
Sony.
to do with the surreal mental image of his hometown getting destroyed by the mech robots from Killzone in Battle Royale. Seriously, that image is never going to leave my head.
It's okay. Chop Chop Master Onion got your back.
Yeah.
Well, before we leave Smash Brothers, then how about I ask you guys the question I seem to ask every time I'm on here? Now that we've seen Ultimate, and now that we've seen Ridley and Daisy, and Inkling, and now that we know that they're getting Amiibo, who do you guys want to see? Give me like your top 2 requested characters for Smash.
Okay. Well, if we accept the idea that every character with an amiibo is going to be represented in Smash in some form, my number 1 pick would be Solera Vestora from Dark Souls. I mean,
Nice.
they did the marketing thing where they promoted the Switch version first with the Solera amiibo. It would be really awkward for them not to do that.
Yeah.
I would like that.
Yeah. Aside from that, my number 1 pick, well, number 2 pick, since they've already got Cloud from Final Fantasy VII, they might as well bring in the other guy, Sora from Kingdom Hearts.
Yeah, that's good. Those are good choices.
Yeah. For me, I don't know. At least one character from ARMS, just because I feel like that's a natural fit.
Mm-hmm. Give me my boy Springman. That's
And
just me,
you could
though.
have a bunch of the others, the Echo Fighters. And let's see.
That name and get him confused with the boss from Mega Man 7. I'm sorry.
I can play that game wherever I want now. Anyway, let's see, for the second character, this is probably not gonna happen, but maybe someone just weird like Petey Piranha.
I was expecting you to say Vivian, to be honest.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah,
me
it's my
too.
girl.
Yeah, I'd take that.
Happy Pride
I mean, if
Month
they
to
could
my
get-
favorite girl.
I mean, if they could get a chain chomp and a blooper into a tennis game.
Oh
I mean,
yeah,
it's-
that's gonna be so. Oh, that's. I just remembered. I'm excited for that.
Me too.
I forgot to be excited. Sorry, guys.
It's fine.
If they can put Goomba in Mario Party, then I think they could put those guys in Smash.
Oh, Goomba and Smash.
Yeah.
Goomba and Smash.
There's always DLC.
Ooh. Would I be happy or would I be concerned they're hitting the bottom of the barrel here? Oh
Good
dear.
question.
Oh no.
Either, yeah.
Well, you never know. We've got a few months out.
Yeah.
So, yeah, Smash. I can't wait to buy it and play it and have parties based solely around it.
Yeah. Especially when you crank up all the items on, like, what are, like, the stages that everyone hates in Smash Brothers?
Great Cave Offensive.
Big Blue.
Great Cave Offensive. Great Cave Offensive. Great Cave Offensive.
Rainbow
You just
Cruise.
mentioned that 5 times.
Because it's that bad.
Hey, so is the High Road to Crash Bandicoot, but you don't see me mentioning that literally every other sentence.
That gets a stage now too.
Yeah, you're going to be in for a world of hurt when you get the Insane Trilogy, Tyler. It bears repeating.
Yeah.
Well, no, something I was talking about with some of the guys watching my stream yesterday. When Smash Brothers does come out on Switch, I'm going to stream the heck out of it, and I'm going to be spreading around my friend code, and I expect to see you guys on the battlefield.
Oh, that'll be a fun day.
Yes. I hope 8-player Smash goes online. I would love that.
Mm-hmm.
Like we went out of our way. We bought a really nice internet connection. I have a brand new shiny computer that can handle all the streaming. I want to push my computer to the limit.
Yeah.
Push my
Let's just
internet
hope
to the limit.
that code holds up its end of the bargain, because it's no secret that Smash's online performance has been rather inconsistent over the years.
Oh, and if you guys noticed, if you go onto Smash Brothers' website, on the very bottom of the website, it tells you that you need to pay to play online.
Right. This is obviously going to be the title for upselling us on the paid Switch online service, which makes sense. It's frustrating. It makes sense.
Honestly, I thought that for sure they were going to talk about that during its reveal.
I feel it's going to happen as we get closer to Smash's release.
Yeah.
Well, the online comes out in September, so we're definitely going to have a direct for Smash by then.
Yeah. It's the same thing they did with Halo 2 when Xbox Live came out back in 2004. Dear God, I'm old. Sorry. Force of habit.
It's all good.
So, yeah, that's Nintendo. This just shows my bias right away, but Nintendo wins for me.
Oh, are we talking about who we thought won E3 now?
I'm willing to guesstimate that you have slightly different choice.
Yes, we did talk about it on the episode of Otaku where we go over E3. Honestly, I know we didn't talk about it here today, but I thought Bethesda won, to be honest.
Is Bethesda doing the new Doom too?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
they have a lot coming, and I just really like the stories they were telling.
Yeah.
Yeah, some of it was really cringy, but the work they're putting in is really, you can't really ignore it.
Yeah.
And what they're doing right now and what they're planning for the future, much like Microsoft, they have a plan. And I was like, yeah, I'm impressed. Honestly, I think you guys got it. I'm not even a big Bethesda fan, so it says a lot, at least to me.
I'm just glad that we're finally going to see Todd Howard talking about something other than fucking Skyrim ports. It's getting obnoxious.
Did you guys play the one for Amazon Alexa yet?
No, and I don't plan on indulging in that.
Oh, we meme it up in this house with that. It's a riot. It is really funny.
Yeah.
Next, I intend on buying a refrigerator that can handle that game. And then in a couple of years, we can have toasters that won Crisis. So I'm ready. I'm ready.
Although, do you really want a toaster that literally dragon shouts the bread? Like it'll just come up and hit you in the face?
Yes.
Oh man, how great would that be? I'm like in the other room getting ready for work, and I hear "Fusrada!" Click. Like, oh, my toast is done.
Oh, God, me and my big mouth.
That would be hilarious. Like especially if it knows and it just shoots the toast into your room, so it just right against a wall. I'm like, oh, there it is.
Oh, breakfast.
Nice.
Dragon shouted to singed perfection.
Oh, God. If I had to pick a choice for who I think, quote unquote, won E3, it's a little hard because a lot of the stuff I'm looking forward to is multi-platform. But if we're going based on the games that were shown rather than the quality of the presentation and the timetables, I have to give the edge to the PlayStation 4. If only because I'm really looking forward to Last of Us Part 2, and Kingdom Hearts 3, for better or worse, is going to get preferential treatment. They're even doing an all-in-one pack with all 3 HD games and a third one.
Oh, yeah, that's going to be...
That system, that looks sick.
Great.
Yeah. And, well, I know this is a bit biased, but Neo 2 kind of sealed the deal on principle.
That's fair.
Yeah. I've actually got a friend out in Chicago. Her nephew is best described as a quote-unquote fuckboy, the kind that chugs Mountain Dew and plays Call of Duty all the time. She's actually going to buy him a copy of the first Neo intentionally. That we're going to break him out of that mindset if he doesn't break his TV first.
It's a good way to do it.
Yeah. Very good. In fact, it says a lot because real talk, it's the hardest game I've ever played, at least this generation, apart from Cuphead. So if that doesn't break him, nothing will.
You have to keep us updated. Do like live tweet it. Just take photos of his reactions every time.
Oh, she's actually gonna be recording it in the room when it happens. So I promise I'll forward it to you guys.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah. And who knows, Tyler? Maybe if you end up getting a PS4 over the holidays, well, I got to get you something to christen it now, don't I?
Yeah, I suppose so.
Just make sure you squeeze in time to hop on the Brosona 3 Fun Entertainment stream and play some Smash.
It's okay. We can make time for just about anything.
We'll be there.
Need some Smash.
Yeah.
Neo for Smash.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So.
Well, actually, before we leave off, I just wanted to say, I didn't get a chance to say this in any other podcasts that I've been on, like over the past couple days. The reveal trailer for Ridley, I really like the fact that Samus was able to trust Mario and Mega Man enough to come with her to find Ridley, or just go with her on whatever they were on. I was like, that's really cute. And then they got murdered.
Yeah.
I'm like, ooh boy, we're going in this time.
You're all but confirming that they're going to have to patch that big winged bastard at some point.
Absolutely. Well, yeah. Yes, I think they should. Really, they should. But if they don't, I won't be surprised.
Yeah, he's going to become our generation's answer to Oddjob from GoldenEye 007. That one asshole that everyone bans on principle because he breaks the rules, obviously.
What a throwback. Those were the days.
Yeah.
That does remind me, I want Banjo-Kazooie for Smash still.
Don't get your hopes up on that one. Rare's been in a very pathetic, depressing decline over the past few years. It's
right. They need that shot in the arm to get them back into the spotlight, and I think that would be the best way to do it.
Yeah.
And since everybody seems to be playing ball at this point, and Ultimate being the complete shit show surprise that it was, I can't not get my hopes up now. I'm going to be cautiously optimistic, but I think their chances are better now than they've ever been.
So, yeah.
Have you had enough hot takes there, Mr. T. Gorman?
I believe this brings us to the end of this E3 edition of the Pumpkin Copter Cast. If any of the negative 12 of you who are listening to this have enjoyed the show, like, rate, comment, and subscribe. Do that notification bell because you need that now because reasons. Follow Big Al Dente on all of his things and his, I can't even begin to pronounce his Twitter handle.
You can find me on Twitter at Brosona3FES. If you want to go check us out on YouTube, that's /Brosona3FES. We're on Twitch. With that stream, the Otaku Podcast is our podcast. We're on Anchor.fm, and there's a buttload of other places that place links to. Platform of your choice. You can enjoy us anywhere you go.
Yep. And if my other friend Ben the Destroyer had anything to plug, we'd plug it, but we'll have to wait.
Well, I did mention Hollow Knight on the Switch.
Hollow Knight on the Switch. Buy it.
Yeah, $20 you'll easily spend on a Switch game this year. Other than Celeste, get either one of those. They'll break your spirit, but you'll be a better person for it.
I like that. If you want to follow Ben the Destroyer on social media, buy Hollow Knight on Switch.
So this has been T Gorman 83, and we'll see all you next time. Bye.
Toodles.
Bye, everyone.